All right. What's up, y'all? Tyson Tactics, AWR Precision. You know what it is. Hey, I got to break this down, man. Check this out. The firearm community has been arguing about this situation for a long time. This topic of tactical training versus competition shooting. Which one creates better shooters and all this say so and stuff, you feel me? Which one is more realistic, as they like to try to put it, you feel me? And who actually has their credentials to teach people this stuff. I'm gonna dive deep into it because I'm gonna be reacting to we the people. I know everybody talking about this right now because of the stuff on IG and everything, and how this conversation goes down. And basically, honestly, well, I can say honestly, dealing with it, both sides are missing a lot of stuff, man. Important parts too, when it comes to breaking this thing down, man. Looking tactical, understanding tactics, and actually performing under pressure. And today we're going to talk about this shit, man. Because I'm trying to formulate my words and try to put this thing together, man. You see, I got my security shirt on. I just got off work, but we about to dive into this, man. If y'all don't know, if you don't know who I am, again, Tyson Tactics, AWR Precision. I'm an instructor for my own company, you feel me? I do security. I'm a NRA instructor. I'm also an instructor on the NRA law enforcement side, you feel me? Teach people down here in Florida, stuff dealing with their G license, security stuff, different points on how to maneuver and stuff. And one of my key things is always safety and using your brain. So that's why I added tactics with my name, you feel me? Because you can have these guns and do all types of stuff, but if you don't know how to really perform and utilize it at the right time, you get yourself in a whole lot of trouble, man. So one of the biggest mistakes people make in the debate is acting like one side is better than the other. And as we know, that's not true. Competition shooting develops real skills. Tactical training develop real skills. They both develop different things. So, again, we the people did a video, I want to say a week ago, about it. People in the comment boards going back and forth. And one thing I always like to say, people read more into comments than what it is. If your mind is set up to think negative, guess what you're going to get? Negativity. Person could be saying something, just critiquing what you said, and you get in your feelings and think the person talking shit to you. But again, we all had this preposition of if you already feel a certain way about a person, you already going to think negative about it. And that's one thing we can't lose in all this. These comment boards go back and forth, but nobody can really sit down, hash it out, and compare the two. Let's get into it. Let's really get into the meat and potatoes of the thing. You feel me? So let's break it down. Competition shooting. What can competition help you deal with? And some of them said it on the podcast, you feel me? Because they had the 50-minute one. Then they had their live one responding to everything that was on, responding to everything, the comments and stuff. They brought people up. And some of the way, and I'm going to just go ahead and say it, the way Fred was talking is rubbing people the wrong way. Because it's how he's coming across. Do it offend me? No, it doesn't offend me. But it can offend other people how you moving. Because you're saying certain things, and to a novice that doesn't know, you can make them think certain things. One of the things the boys keep talking about is these little shorts. I'd have been to a couple of competitions. I'm a competition shooter myself. I don't wear shorts when I go to competitions. I have on my tactical pants. So, and a couple of people I'm looking at, everybody got pants on out here. So who is these little short boys, these little shorts you're talking about? Again, for the people I hang with, and we have on hoodies sometimes. Some of the people I shoot with, they have on their hoodies, their shirts. Again, man, what the hell? People texting. But these are the things, man, we can't get caught up. And on the live, young dude, the first dude that was on there talking, he let him know, like, dude, You can't just run around wild like that, you feel me? Because to a novice that doesn't know, and we know there's people out here with itching ears, you could say something and they'll think and they'll run with it. They can watch the whole thing, but because you said that and that's what they wanted to hear, they'll run with that scenario and then won't even put it to the test. But let's break it down again. Competition shooting can build speed, recoil control, reload efficiency, how quick you can reload, target transitionings, you feel me, your movement, and being accurate under pressure. All these different things you can build in competition. If you're just going out doing tactical training, which I done been around people that did tactical training, all that stuff ain't emphasized, you feel me? We just shooting to shoot. And it depends on what type of shooter you want to be. I be holding classes and we be shooting at steel. Now, mind you, at a distance hitting steel, if you you shooting at a 10-inch target, you not dead center, you hitting the bottom of it. You hit a ding, you think you done did great. Oh, I did great. No, you didn't. You hit the bottom left corner of this steel. And we should all know what happens if you hit in the bottom left of something. You aim at dead center, you think you aim at center, but all your shots going bottom left. That means your trigger ain't real right. But some people might say, oh, I got a hit though. But that's something that's standing still. Most people don't stand still in gunfights. A lot of people move. And we done seen the clips online where people running left and right trying to get around. So every time you go to shoot and aim, if you're not hitting that point where you're trying to hit, come on now. So, and this is one of the things that competition builds, that pressure, because you up under the clock. That clock simulates somebody literally trying to get back at you. And there's all types of drills you can do that you can build this, you feel me? So, again, you can't take performance when the clock is running. You can't take performance when the clock is running, yeah. And that clock is running, the performance you do up under that pressure, and I think Colin said it, dealing with, you got that one run on that. In life, when it's time, when your life is on the line, you only got one shot at it. You better make sure you do a damn good job so your ass can get home. One thing Fred do say, that boy say, I ain't fighting to be a John Wick or Superman and none of that. He just worried about family, which is understandable. But now you got your family with you, you out and about, something pop off, you got other people with guns now. True indeed, you only worrying about you and your family, but now there's you in the grocery store, and you can bring this example up. Dude in the grocery store that went through that grocery store shooting all type of people, going through, and you know, the dude that went into the grocery store aiming at black people. Let's be honest about it. If you had a gun, you in there with your daughters, somebody else in there by themselves with their gun, and somebody else got their gun. Now, all y'all might be trying to shoot at this perpetrator because, again, you only worried about self, and all the rest of them is still worried about self. Y'all could damn near get caught up in the crossfire shooting at each other. You don't know these people. None of that. So there's all type of situations that can play out. But part of it is understanding your pressure, applying the pressure and getting your sight alignment and target and all this other stuff. Again, it could go deep with the tactical side and the competition side, but let's break down the importance of balancing the thing, man. You feel me? Now, does competition shooting equal a gunfight? No. But if somebody can't perform basic manipulations of their firearm under pressure, and that's what that is. That's putting you under pressure. Can you really perform? Can you really get it in? And same thing go with tactical. You feel me? Tactical training introduces things competition really don't focus on. So me as a student and an instructor in this thing, because I'm gonna never stop learning this thing. I'm gonna constantly get out there and train. One of my mentors told me, when you get out there and you take these classes from other people, you building up your toolbox. You opening up this dang toolbox, and everything you go teach, learn from these people, you putting it in the toolbox. So when that time comes, you taking it out this toolbox and you utilizing it. You grab these fundamentals, you go back and you practice on these fundamentals. So I do teach a basic pistol class, but anybody that comes up under me, I'm trying to turn you into an instructor. So the information just don't get left with me. If something happens to me, I know I got other students that's out there that's teaching this one of the same stuff I done taught. And I know they out there going to learn from other people as well. Because anybody that come teach me, I'm going to tell them, boy, go out there and teach, learn from somebody else too. So you can build up the skills for that. When it comes to long range, when it comes to competition, when it comes to tactical training, all these things play a part, man. But still, breaking down tactical training, decision-making skills, communication, how you use cover properly, you feel me? Low light stuff, threat assessment, and that's the thing going back to the grocery store. Your threat assessment. How you gonna assess what's going on in this situation? Are you gonna just stay in the back? The one man, him and his daughter, hid in the freezer. You feel me? That's a smart tactical decision to do. Babe, I gotta hide in the freezer with you. Why? Because I can have my pistol on me, but as we know, this man walking around with body armor. I'm in Florida, so we can walk around with our ARs and everything, but at the same time, do you want to make yourself a target walking around with that AR? All these things play a part. Tactical training, you're supposed to understand medical stuff. Movement with a team, and hence why I brought up the other two people. If you're doing tactical training, you understand like, dang, some people come in, but y'all have to be on the same accord, you feel me? Because you can't just get a gun and think you down. Example, one dude goes into the Walmart, and this is true tactics, true stuff. Dude walk into the Walmart to get ready to shoot up the Walmart. You feel me? Dude walked past through the entrance. The other dude had his gun. He was like, yeah, I'm about to get him. And when he went to go try to shoot dude, that dude who walked in wanted to shoot up people had a second partner in a female that just pretended like she a grocery, like in there shopping for groceries. She popped up behind the dude and shot him in the back of the head. So all these things play a part. When you think you about to move, you don't know who's on who team. But again, situations break out. What are you really going to do? We all think we're going to just jump to the thing. But you got to understand the situations, man. And everything, again, balance. Competition isn't a gunfight, but tactical fantasy without measurable performance standards can become dangerous as well. Because you got to doing that tactical stuff, and Fred said this, oh man, we race against each other, and we do have competitions amongst ourselves. You can't say you have a competition amongst yourselves and then talk about competition shooters who only doing competition with 10 people. Now you think you're the hot shit. Yeah, because y'all just competing there. So we have to watch the words we say and how we position ourselves with saying these things, man. We got to position ourselves. And even when it comes to even taking classes from people, what qualifies you to even be a teacher, to even teach this stuff? You feel me? Because I done hooked up with one dude thinking we about to go out here and train, and then man, what kind of credentials you got? Oh, I was in the military. Okay, what that mean? What did you do in the military? From what I done learned from I'm Gonna Get You, sucker. Keenan Ivory said he was in the military, so they thought he was a badass. No, that boy, all he did was worked on a typewriter. And even went to his other homeboy. I forget the dude's name. The one Keenan Ivory went to go see the older dude, and he had a homeboy that was in the military that done lost his eye. That boy told you, yeah, man, I worked in the office. He lost his eye through a paperclip because they're not having paperclip fights. So again, just because you're in the military, that don't mean you a top instructor and you can go out here and teach this thing. You could have been even a badass, but that doesn't make you a teacher. So the talk down even on people that are NRA instructors or USCCA instructors or whatever that other acronym is, you feel me? NAGA. I'm about to go try to get my certificates with them boys over there, you feel me? The whole purpose of this is seeing, are you a teacher? Can you teach somebody else the fundamentals to get them to survive? Everybody ain't a teacher. Everybody think they're a teacher, but everybody ain't a teacher. We can go through these drills. You the teacher, I'm the student. I shouldn't be running the drill better than my teacher. God don't talk about that stuff. Somebody out there paying, you might go spend $500 or even $1,500 to go take this tactical training class, and you get out there, and we done seen it online, they out here shooting themselves. You feel me? Because they haven't done it like that. And one thing about competition shooting is going to get you in the mindset of, yeah, that's safety. moving accurately. You feel me? Even creating your own build drills. That's what most people are doing now, creating their own little drill that they can run, and they run that to proficient, and they can gun down stuff. So again, I'm talking all about this, and I'm gonna come back more about it and talk about this thing deep. But we gotta understand, man, they had their comments they was making. They made their comments. They feel how they feel about this thing. Everybody gonna feel how they feel when it comes to this two-way community. But if you saying you trying to make something for us, you can't just shut people out like that. Because you doing that, are you part of the problem or are you part of the solution? What are you? If you trying to teach survival skills and you're a survivalist, you ain't gonna share that information with your people, or you just worried about you and yours? You feel me? Because if it is that way, yeah, I might think you might be a threat to me and mine. And now we're gonna see who can get it at long range, at distance now, you feel me? Because it could go deep, and it could go down the wrong rabbit hole in the conversations we have when it comes to these firearms. The stuff he said, man, is just wild. Because there's a lot of different things I can touch on and really hit home to see what dude talking about. But like one of the things he said, I could talk to you face to face, over the phone, or even on one line, or however you want to do it, you feel me? But right now I'm on this contract, so I'm mad that I can't get to the range how I want to. You feel me? I can do competition on the weekends and shoot throughout the week. Your kid's more than likely older than mine, so that's what I'm saying. You saying, and your main thing is you want to hit people moms and stuff. Like, really? The stuff you say is wild. Like like y'all probably say, this is not for the weak, but at the same time, it might not be for the intelligent people either, because some of the stuff a person can say can sound real ignorant. So I'm gonna finish watching some of the live, because I started off with the first young man that popped on there, and dude pretty much hit everything on the head, you feel me? Young man came on there, dropped his dad credentials, his credentials. And if you're a badass like you say you is, get in that competition. Show the world you're a badass, because at the end of the day, it ain't but so many of us that are grandmasters and masters when it comes to shooting. Even though you talking about back in the day, 60 years ago, we couldn't get into it like that, but we can now. So what's your excuse? Put your money up, because they make money from that. So they say, would you run this with, the last dude asked him, man, would you put your people up against this? Oh yeah, man, pay me to go do that. Well, let's drop the money down and the winner get the money. That's just like getting paid. Or because either you can really, what's the word I want to use? Either you true about your skills, you feel me? Or you ain't. Like you say, I ain't come across you or come across this. Again, I try to promote my people when I see my people doing anything. Maybe they can get better down the road. Hopefully you can, you feel me? And like you said, one of the best things you can do is that airsoft stuff, because that really puts you, what you're going to do in this mindset now. Because a person, one of the things he said about throwing sand in somebody's eye. Dude, so you telling me you walk around with a pocket full of sand everywhere you go? Really? That's good to say. But from my training, I can shoot without seeing where you at. Hence why I done pulled this gun and my finger on the trigger, letting one loose as that sand is in midair. You done caught two to the arm, chest, or somewhere. So, as you say this, there's always rebuttals to everything. But hey, man, I digress. I'm gonna come back later, talk about more.